I thought Rumple was kind of hot this episode.
Me too.
Rumple is so hot. That's a note I actually have.
Wait, don't be stupid.
I thought she was gonna push him in and take her clothes off. Like, oh my god, Captain Swan! Ah! This is not what I signed up for.
Bam! Henry's the author.
A sex chamber, like who knows what it is?
Crossbow.
Don't touch me. Welcome to Storybook, bitch.
It was like a mediocre episode, but with good moments in it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Rumple really killed it. Obviously it was a Rumple and Belle episode, as we're mostly focused on, but I really like Rumple in this episode.
Gaston, I didn't remember, I totally forgot that he was introduced back in like season 1 or season 2 or whatever. So I thought this was the first time we were going to see him, and I was kind of hoping for someone that was like season 2 Hook. I wanted someone that was like sexy, but like bad and like, but
I was really hoping for like a true to like its source materials sort of Gaston.
I thought it was hot when Rumple and Gaston first have their interaction, or when Belle and Rumple are talking and then an arrow flies through, and then Gaston goes to shoot Rumple and he just like catches the arrow, yeah. Which we've definitely seen before in Once Upon a Time. That's not a new thing where people are catching arrows. But I
just love like Rumple is like not a threat, you know, like Rumple's like the Superman of the show.
I never thought Rumple was like hot, but like I think his like badass attitude, like not caring and like just kind of like letting Belle do his thing, like letting Belle do her thing. He's just like kind of standing back, like.
Yeah, he like does not care.
I think he's so hot. People are gonna hate me. People are gonna think I'm crazy. I know it. I know people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I think he's attractive.
Jossyl's got daddy issues.
There were questions I had like during the episode, like, oh my god, Belle, why aren't you more excited to see Gaston when this is your fiance? And like, why aren't you more mad that Rumple killed him? But then obviously those questions were answered later on in the episode because you find out that Belle actually really didn't want to marry Gaston, so it kind of like justifies how she was acting.
She was like, it was like a forced marriage. I kind of like that line from Rumple too. It's like, I was saving you from a forced marriage. You
guys already know we think Belle is super annoying, but like, she's just so clueless all the time.
It's kind of funny, to be honest, because it's fun. Like, I kind of wish we could like stream ourselves watching the episode, because like we really react to like how things are going. We'll like ad-lib things, because like Belle's character is just like, yeah, totally clueless. This has no idea what's going on.
No idea what's going on. Even when Hades was like, I'm gonna give you the thing that you love most, like rubbing her belly. Your baby. Like, just in case you didn't know, Belle, it's your baby. Like, you kind of just have to clarify things with her. Was anyone else mad that Snow was completely third-wheeling Captain Swan, like, the entire episode?
It was kind of like just Hook hanging out with, like, his girlfriend and, like, his mother-in-law, right?
I guess that's what it is.
You think about it that way. We're also probably just trying to eliminate Captain Swan moments by just having someone else there.
So why are they trying to eliminate Captain Swan moments?
Because, I don't know, the fans probably think realistically if they were alone together, they're going to start kissing and stuff. So if it's Snow there, it's not going to happen.
Realistically, yes, but when they're in the underworld, I'm going to let that pass, because I know they probably have other things on their mind, like getting out of the underworld.
They're taking their sweet-ass time. What's Rumple doing? Fucking playing instruments and is like Mr. Goldshot?
He's not playing instruments, he's like touching things. It was funny when they were in Regina's like lair, and I was like, I don't have issues. Clearly disheveled, like hasn't slept in days, like scared of everything.
I even feel like they did her makeup in a way to make her look like she has issues.
And everyone's like, yeah, you do.
Even Hook's like,
sorry, Emma, I'm gonna have to like be honest.
Come on, like let's look at our relationship. We have issues. You have issues.
I ship Belle and Gaston, which is like, I should have said this at the beginning.
Well, that's like, yeah, basic.
I just like bad boys and good girls. I think I like that. I think that's what I ship.
Gaston's not really a bad guy.
Kind of. He just has like anger management issues. He's like, a hero has strength!
I'm gonna hit this table! Belle's attracted to people who are like as far away from human as possible. So like ogres and Rumpelstiltskin and Gaston, I guess. So is Belle actually attracted to that, or was Belle just saying that to like kind of sneak the dagger off of Rumple?
Poor Gaston. He was like being choked mid-air while having to watch Belle and Rumple make out.
Yeah. And they're like making out, and like Rumple's like still holding him up.
So he's like kind of like losing focus like on like his grip because he's making out with her. So Gaston's like, so I think Belle admitted that she likes Bad Rumple. Like that's.
Yeah, but she was
admitted.
also saying that to get the dagger, so we don't know if it's true or not. But I like to think that it is, given her history. It was cool to see like Belle pull a fast one on Rumple and like kind of do like a Rumple kind of move on Rumple.
This is like the highlight of the episode, which is so sad because it's like the highlight of the episode for me because it's like 2 seconds. But Hooked Queen moment.
Is that what it's called?
Hooked Queen, yeah. When Hook like was about to kill Regina and like she stopped and he was like, sorry love. It's like I don't know, those two are hot.
They have potential for sure. I could see like years down the road, like, you know, Hook sort of and Emma like splitting apart a little bit, having a little thing, and then like,
well, it's like
and then like Hook kind of goes to Regina.
It's like
and they have a little
let's be
chemistry.
honest. You know that if Hook and Regina were like a canon couple on the show, and like Robin didn't exist, and like Emma like was with like Neil or whatever, or whoever the
hell. That was actually discussed in the writing room at one point.
You know that Hook and Regina would be like a nasty couple. Like they would be having sex like left, right, and center. They would be all over each other. Like that's the kind of couple they would be.
Well, you know
my
how
eyes look so like.
You know how you
right
change,
now.
right? You change for other people, right? Like so, like you, and it'll, like you don't change who you are, but like you act a little different. You change your attitude depending on who you're sort of dating, and that's kind of like what Hook's done towards Emma, which is fine and respectful. But I'd like to think that like if Hook stayed with Regina, I don't think Hook would have changed too much. Can you imagine them like both being villains and like at the same time being like a couple, and like Regina's going out just like like killing people, and Hook's like using his hook like hitting people with a sword, and like they're just like badass like arm around each other like riding a Jolly Roger around.
But then my feelings like went back and forth because in that same scene, Snow was like, no, like we all want to go to the underworld because love is worth it. And then like Emma and Hook gave that look to each other. So I don't know, I was like, I had mixed feelings. I had mixed feelings about the whole thing. Swan Queeners will probably be like, yeah, and then it cut to Regina and she kind of had this weird look on her face because she's in love with Emma. But I say it's because she's in love with Hook. I think this whole thing with Regina and Emma isn't Regina in love with Emma. I think it's about like Regina jealous because she actually likes Hook. I'm gonna spin it that way. I'm gonna spin it that way. The red is back, Little Red Riding Hood.
I guess they're bringing her back for some sort of plot detail, right? That's what she is. She's like a plot device. That's why she's there.
Yeah, her and Mulan are gonna be back next episode. I was actually telling Jake the one episode of Once Upon a Time ever that I have not watched was the Merida, Mulan, and Little Red Riding Hood episode. But remember they played them back to back after we found out that Hook was the dark one? And they had the 2 back-to-back episodes. That was the only episode I haven't seen. So like I'm not too excited about Little Red Riding Hood coming back. Like I like her, I think she's hot. But that's about it. I'm kind of like, well, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah.
I feel like every episode, like every promo that I'm watching, I'm kind of just like, oh, when's something interesting gonna happen? When is something gonna happen with the main characters instead of them bringing in all these side characters?
I had this thought just today after the show, and it doesn't always apply, but I kind of feel like, and like you guys know, like I'm not a fan of the show, so I can say this. She is a fan of the show. So that's just how I feel.
I don't think you can say you're not a fan of the show anymore after 2 seasons in.
Would never pay one of the cast members to sign something for me. Actually, I probably would at this point.
You would ask Rumple to sign something for you.
Anyways.
And Henry.
I think like the flashbacks in the show, because you know every episode is flashback scenes, it kind of feels like it drags the show down a bit. Like I only am ever intrigued and excited when it's like what's happening now, like in modern times. I understand that the flashbacks are essential for, you know, the storytelling and who the characters are, but whenever there's a flashback scene, I'm just like, whatever. And then when it goes back, I'm like, okay, we're back. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys were wondering if we're gonna do a call-for video or when our next call-for video is coming out, and we have one coming up shortly after this one, which we have just filmed, so stay tuned.